Hey everybody, good evening. I hope everyone is doing well. I stumbled across this today and I just wanted to bring this to everyone's attention because, as I said in previous videos, I've never been in a sorority, graduated from FIT. We didn't have this type of stuff going on. If they did, I don't know anything about it. Let's look at this. A University of Idaho student freezes to death after fraternity party. Okay, so seems to be a lot of weird stuff going on, or some real dark stuff going on after these fraternity parties. So this is January 22nd, 2013, updated January 22nd, 2013. Okay, 12:41 p.m. All right, by Chelsea Bannock. A university student A University of Idaho student froze to death under a bridge after leaving a fraternity party this weekend. Moscow police found the body of Joseph Whitterick, 18, of Haley, Idaho, under the Paradise Creek Bridge about 4 p.m. Monday, according to Moscow Police Chief David Duke. Alcohol was involved. Whitterick and forgive me if I'm not pronouncing his name correctly, and his roommate attended a party at the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity Saturday night, and Whitterick left sometime early Sunday morning. Police believe he became disoriented and entered someone's home just before 3 a.m. Sunday, believing he was at the fraternity, which was actually about 2 miles north. The resident asked if he was all right, and he said he was and was going home. Then around 4 a.m., he knocked on the door of a second residence, Duke said. The person that answered the door later told police that Whitterick was in a state of disarray, and he asked Whitterick to leave because he felt threatened. A short time later, Whitterick fell into a shallow creek bed and sustained minor injuries, Duke said. He sought shelter under the bridge, where he likely died of hypothermia. His roommate called police upon waking up Sunday afternoon and discovering Whitterick hadn't returned to his dorm room in Theophilus Tower. Police awaiting toxicology results to determine Whitterick's level of intoxication and whether any other substances may have contributed to his disorientation. Authorities do not suspect foul play and do not anticipate filing any charges. The Latah County coroner is expected to complete an autopsy Wednesday. UI issued a statement Tuesday regarding the student's death. We are saddened by the loss of Joseph Whitterick, a freshman at the University of Idaho. The statement said, "Our heartfelt sympathy go out to his family and friends. Counseling services are provided through University Counseling Services to those affected by the loss," according to the statement. Another University of Idaho student was found dead in his dormitory room around about 8 a.m. Saturday in an unrelated incident. The 18-year-old man of Middleton, Idaho, died from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, let me tell you something. This is a small town, okay? One thing I know about a small town is this. Let's not ever get it twisted, because this happens in big cities. And what happens in the courts, and the police stations, government, it is a lot. It's a good old boy states, good old boy towns where it's you all grew up together, you all know each other, or people look out for one another. It's just an unwritten law, not even rule, unwritten law, okay, amongst them. And another thing is that parents, I think it's so imperative to keep children home and to have them close by, or not even living on campus. Why send them away? For what? Because it's a lot, when you send children away, okay, you're sending them out into a world, and there's a lot of different energies out there. So it's a lot that can go left, which is extremely unfortunate. And I don't know what's going on with these frats or whatever, but it's just so weird. And what I really think, the energy that I'm picking up, is that whatever happened with this young man, I don't know about pledging. I don't know when that happens. This was in January. This young man, it sounds like he was high on something, okay? He was high on something. He stopped at somebody's house. He thought he was somewhere else. He was high. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't like He was really high. He thought he was somewhere else. That's what I'm getting from it. And then somebody else. So nobody called the police. Nobody thought, you know what? This is a young man. He's obviously off beat right now. Let me call the police. Let me call somebody. Okay, I don't know what actually happened. You know what I'm saying? After, but then it says when we go back up here, it says that after this young man, he when he went to the house that he thought was the frat, right? So obviously he thought he made it back to wherever he needed to go. Okay, that says a lot to me. Maybe he was dropped off somewhere. I think maybe he was dropped off somewhere, and they were like, "Yo, you got to make it back high." By himself, like that's a good idea. Now that's just how I'm thinking about it. I'm not saying that's what happened, but this is just it's so disrespectful. He thought he was at the frat. Okay, so to me that means that he walked a distance and he thought he made it to where he needed to be, and he wasn't there. And then the poor thing ends up under a bridge. Okay, it just gets me really upset. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on in Moscow, Idaho. But this fraternity nonsense. And here's another thing. They don't have no cameras. I'm just going to leave it at that. So I wanted to share this with you guys, just for knowledge purposes, really, that, be mindful of where you're sending your children to school. Should you really be sending them off? And what's really going on with these fraternities? And how in the hell is it that this University of Idaho is still able? They should shut down that whole frat situation. They can actually live at these frat houses. This is ridiculous to me. It's too much weird stuff going on. Then there's another article about a dean who allegedly ends up drowning. I'll come back with that maybe tomorrow. But I just wanted to share this with you guys. All right. Have a good night.